Punk unicorns, we're here to stay, living our lives in our own way. Mama K and Nikki B, we're here to slay, tearing down walls we don't play. Gay man, be a woman, we're all one. Eccentric and wild, we're never done. Garage gods of filth and blasphemy. We're the punk unicorn family. Leave us a hug, we'll give you a laugh. It's the Punk Unicorns Podcast. Mama K and Nikki B, we're a blast. Join us and you'll have a blast.
Easter,
Eggs,
Easter.
eggs,
Eggs.
Oh. Hey! Sometimes we get caught up in some stuff and
It's because she's a tiny human tamer and I'm a compulsive coffee addict.
there's coffee in here too.
Mm-hmm.
How else do you think I tame the humans?
Coffee is needed because, awesomely, Black Beauties, was it Black Beauties or Mama's Little Helpers?
They were kind of like the same. I think they were the same thing. They were just marketed differently.
One was meth and one was heroin, basically. Like one put you to sleep
And
and
Black
one would
Beauties,
throw.
man, yeah.
I remember that when we were kids.
I do.
Like,
My grandma took them sons of bitches.
They would be like walking around like they just drank a case of beer.
But you know, my grandma had a very odd body shape. She was absolutely just as tiny as she could be, about my height. Legs, like, these were her legs and her arms. But now her belly, she always looked like she was about 7.5 months pregnant. And her belly was always hard as a rock. But she said, I don't know how true this is, but now she passed away at the age of 83. And that was back in 2013. So she was born in 1928. So if it gives you any indication. When she had her gallbladder out, it's not like it is today where, like they did mine and they went in with the trocars and did all that. She had to be like split like the equator of the earth
To get that
gallbladder out. And I guess people that had that operation, once they were put back together, their stomachs were like that, just like hard as a rock.
Permanent hernia.
Right, you know, and the thing is, you know, yeah, I had the weight loss surgery. 16 pounds in 1 month. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it.
All that time you're spending at the glory hole, it is working out.
Oh, I know, but I've been seeing my chiropractor a lot lately.
But you can lift up a box with your neck. That's pretty cool.
I can bench press about 250 with this earlobe.
You should get a hold of Lady Victoria and start wrestling.
I could.
I think that would be pretty fucking fun.
So before we go any further, we would like to send out our deepest condolences to our throuple co-host, Regina. For Regina yesterday took her dog Penis to be seen at the veterinary. He was there last week and they said, I think he's just dumb. He's just old and dumb. But then he started having pain and was panting this week, and they decided that it was time for him to cross the Rainbow Bridge. So we want to send our condolences to Regina. We miss you, Regina. I would have invited you, but you're in mourning, and black doesn't really go with this.
And we really don't need a Debbie Downer. We need
Peanut
Beth
needs you to be happy. Because remember, I sang that song to you yesterday. You know, there's a song that came out, and people play it all the time now when people die, and I'm about fucking sick and tired of hearing it. It's that song, I hope you're dancing in the sky.
Okay,
Are you looking at my Mexican neighbor?
Okay, no, something weird just happened. They did something that's illegal. They put a note. They're not the mail people. They pulled up in a truck, and they put it in the mailbox.
The white truck pulled up?
Yep.
They live there.
Oh, so that's him.
Yeah,
okay.
the white truck
I was about
lives
to
there.
be like, that's so illegal. That's what the thing underneath the mailbox
No,
is
the
for.
white truck lives there, so we're good.
Oh, I was scared we was about to see some ice shit because I was about to get arrested.
No, that is That is the neighbor. She has like, she's like me. She's got kids of like every age level.
Group. Like I had
but
one
her
every
youngest-
10 years.
I think her youngest is in 5th grade though. But like, she's got them of every age level. And I'm just like, and I asked the one girl at the bus, I was like, is that another one of your brothers? She's like, all I have is brothers. I'm like, you poor
girl.
thing.
She's got a brother who's 30. She's got a brother who's 25.
Yeah, but, well, I know the one youngin' over here, he's in the middle school, and then there's another one who's probably early 20s, and then the guy in the truck, he's probably Jordan's age, so probably late 20s.
So she could have a niece or nephew the
yeah.
same age as her.
Yep.
That happens in Northridge a lot, where like uncles be going to school with her.
Well, look at my grandson and my daughter. Like my daughter is literally.
That's right. They're in. Oh, I forgot about
they
that.
are literally 14 months and 2 days apart. So yeah.
I love that for them though, because you need kids your age when you're in a family, like a big family.
Yes.
Like I have a million cousins, literally. Now we don't all eat Sunday dinner and shit together anymore.
Right.
The one side, we have a couple reunions a year. We have a extended family reunion from the same great grandma, and then we have a regular family reunion from my grandma here in Dayton, and then the other one's in Kentucky at Natural Bridge State Park in Kentucky, one of the most beautiful places in North America. Also, some of the oldest geology in North America and the world.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Next road trip.
Yeah.
I would love to have a family reunion per se, but like the family that I have here, a lot of my older cousins I have lost my connection with, or should I say some of them have lost their connection with me, because I've always been myself.
That happens when you vibrate at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
Things fall away as you move up to the next level.
That's a good way. I'm glad you put it that way, because sometimes I sit here and I think, you know, like I have one cousin who we used to be like this. And I made one comment one time to my father, and I was speaking to my father, but because it resonated with her as well,
She thought
she took offense to it and then started acting weird around me. Stopped coming around me and didn't just speak up and say, hey, that offended me. And then I would have said, well, I'm sorry that your life parallels the joke that I'm making about my dad. This joke wasn't about you.
Well, and as comedians in life,
right?
How do you not know?
And
like,
and she was like, well, I would have said something, but it was actually at my son and daughter-in-law's baby shower that this all happened. And she didn't tell me until like months later. And I got emotional, like crying, like, why would you wait till this long to tell? Why wouldn't you take me outside and be like, hey, you know, that kind of hit below the belt. That way I could be like, well, I'm really sorry about that. I wasn't intended. I was talking to my father. And it just so happened that the same thing I said to him applied to you, but it didn't apply to her. You know what I mean? Like, if it did apply to her, it did, but I wasn't talking to her. You know what I mean? She just was sitting next to my dad. Like, don't be weird around me. Like, fucking pull your balls out and tell me. You know what I mean? I'm a big girl. I don't know.
I don't think
I've gotten a lot of weird vibes from my older cousins that I used to be so close to, and it breaks my heart because I've done nothing to them. I know I've done nothing to them, so my heart is clean, clear, and fresh, and therefore, the fucks I could give is minimal, sadly. You know, it's like, okay, just like I was telling Nick before we came on.
Came on what? Just off camera, we're looking at a sticky cookie, or sticky biscuit, depending on what part of the country you're from.
Cover your sticky biscuit up before we get tempted. Again.
I know, right? Okay.
So, as you know, my best friend Josh passed away 3 days before Christmas. Also did not ask me if I was okay with it. Guess what? I was not. But he still did it. His birthday was Saturday. We went to the cemetery Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I laid on top of his grave, and I'm pretty sure I came home with crabs. So I want to know who's been rolling around on the dirt pile up there at the cemetery.
Do you think maybe you got like bird crabs?
I could have.
Or like raccoon crabs, and you're getting ready to create a new public health crisis?
Maybe I'm impregnated with raccoon pups.
Right, or super crabs, and you're going to start a super crab outbreak that's non-responsive.
Well, I hope they give me a C-section.
Right. Ooh,
Oh.
no claws. I hope they don't have claws coming out.
I digress. But anyway, so we went Saturday, and then on Sunday, 99.9% of his children and grandchildren were here at the house, and we all had a little snack, blew up balloons, and then we all headed back to the cemetery. Now, I
was like, at that point, did you lock the door?
Yes. So, one of his older grandchildren, Maddox, was like, they call me Aunt Papaw. His grandchildren call me Auntie Papaw.
That sounds like a great Adult Swim cartoon.
So, because it does, doesn't it? Auntie Papaw.
The Adventures of Auntie Papaw.
Well, you know, my aunt was a lesbian for a while, and we called her girlfriend Uncle Lori, so that kind of goes hand in hand.
Oh my God,
Uncle Lori. She was more manly than any man I'd ever met. Uncle Lori was...
Did she have blonde hair?
Yes!
And thick
mullet. No glasses.
Is she still around?
I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan, so that's a dead giveaway. I do believe so, yeah.
Because we have...
My aunt is deceased, but...
We have a recreational person that comes in that...
Oh, no, she lives in Lexington, Kentucky.
Lexington, KY?
Lori Boots. Thomas.
Is she
Lori
one of those?
Thomas
Is
Boots.
she one of those Lories that's Lorrie?
She wishes.
Or is it
Lori,
short for Lorraine?
Short for Lorena Bobbitt. Any tits. So we are on our way back to the cemetery, and I've got one of Josh's older grandchildren in the back seat, Maddox, right? Oh, that reminds me of something else I forgot.
She's like, no, too so.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
I feel like I don't think you guys can hear it, but she's doing laundry, so it sounds like someone's peeing behind me.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good story.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God, it's funny now, but it fucking wasn't then, was it?
I can only imagine because that's a...
And there's her other son and her.
That's hot.
Yeah.
She's going to go up and turn around. And
she's so cute. She's so cute. I forget what her name is. But anyway, so Maddox is in the back seat, and he is just asking me a million questions. Like, we'll have the radio on, and I'll be jamming. All of a sudden, I'll hear, Auntie Papaw! Auntie Papaw! I'll turn the music down. I said, what, Maddie? How do you say that? Was my Papaw your brother? Because in the obituary, I am listed as sister, and his other best friend, Johnny, is listed as brother. And I said, well, honey, the thing about that is, you know, you have brothers, and those are your brothers. Like, your mom gave birth to those babies. But someone else, I said, sometimes best friends are so close, they become like brother and sister, become like siblings, you know? So he was just asking me so many questions, and every time he would say my name, it was like Josh would light up. Like, I could feel Josh's aura lighting up. Like, how much I know how much he appreciates what I have done and what I will continue to do for his children and grandchildren since he's been gone. So anyway, there's that. So, so we were at the cemetery Sunday, and Saturday I put stuff on his grave. Sunday was the kids put stuff on his grave, and then yesterday our cousin called me and said, hey, my sister just called me and said all of our dad's stuff is off of his tombstone. And what was odd was their dad is Josh's uncle. Their dad and his dad were brothers, and their tombstones are literally right next to each other, then Josh is right here. So while we were there on Sunday, I said, well, hold on. She said that her sister Julia drove by and all the stuff was gone and she had called the police, whatever. I said, well, hold on, because what had happened while we were there is one of the girls had said, you know, I had put something on Dad's grave that looks exactly like that one. I said, well, maybe they got confused. I was like, it's literally Uncle Wilbur's grave. We'll take it off. We'll put it on Dad's. If anything said, it's a quick flip. Julie literally lives like right down the street.
Right.
It'll be a quick flip and it's just a coincidence. I was like, it's literally the same family tree. And it's, you know, and if anybody says anything, I moved it. So, and Jeanette was like, no, you don't understand what I'm telling you. Because I guess Jeanette had made a joke because Julie has decorated those graves for like every holiday. And when we were there, there was a bunny rabbit on the grave and there was a cross there. There are no flowers there. My Uncle Dan passed away recently and he was laid to rest last week. When I went, I think he was laid to rest on Thursday or Friday last week. We went to the cemetery on Saturday and all of his fresh flowers were there on his gravesite and they had put flowers on each of his siblings' headstones and their mom and dad. And I took a picture of it, which I thought it was so awesome. And the one cousin, I said, you know, I tagged them both, but only one of them responded. Maybe that could be because the one that I was probably talking about earlier. But I so fucking respectfully digress. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. We'll just pretend.
You're like...
But, yes, they are all gone.
Is it a
all
weird...
those, and those were all fresh flowers, Nick. Those were all white roses and red roses that were on my uncle's and aunt's grave, my grandma's.
It was super windy on Sunday, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, we did a balloon release. But the thing is, I messaged my friend Casey Whittle. Hi, Casey Whittle! She is I had her go out to the cemetery the day that Josh got buried because if you remember, I had said we couldn't watch the casket be lowered because there was water in the grave.
I think she's one of my followers.
And she went to check it out after the fact to make sure everything went according to plan. So I messaged her and she picked up my gum. And she's
doing magic.
I
know you doing magic.
I tell people, I said I got fucking more goons than a Gambino. Like I trust me.
She made some golem in her basement, and it's turning.
I have a friend named Dickhead that lives in my old apartment, that the first apartment Mike and I lived in. What is his name? Jason. I call him Dickhead. I said, "What's your name?" And he's like,
Jason's
Dickhead.
Dickheads most of the time.
Well, I was bartending when I met him, right? And I was like, so what's your name? Because I could hear him behind me talking about my ass being fine. I was a lot skinnier back then. And he's like, man, look at that ass. And I turned around and I was like, what is your name? And he's like, Dickhead. And I was like, you should have told me that because that's all I'll ever fucking call you from now on. And it's been like 5 years and I still call him Dickhead. But he lives in our old apartment. Well, it was his birthday. And I'm still friends with the maintenance man. So I call him up. I said, hey, Matt, do me a favor. I said, go get a tall boy and put it on the back porch of Jason's apartment. So he did. I said, let me know when it's there. He said, it's there. And I said, hey, Jay, go out back and check your patio. And he's like, how the fuck do you do this shit? And I'm like, I got goons.
Right? Funny story about goons. Mom and I went to the tavern yesterday for lunch.
How was it?
I was pretty good, actually. I don't think she expected to be busy because they only had one person, and that was the bartender, and like two kitchen people. So I was like, oh girl, she's about to make a bunch of money. She didn't even want to make money. She just wanted to walk around and clean. And anyway, we come in, and then one of those like working class rich people, you know, like that own their own construction company or own trucking company. He comes in, he's got somebody he's trying to schmooze. He makes his goons go sit at another table, but still covers the whole bill for everybody for lunch. And you could tell they were good goons because they were allowed to get whatever they wanted. And they both
Good
got
goons.
what they wanted. They didn't just get burgers. They got exactly what they wanted.
Fuck, onion ring.
Right, like, so I was like,
Extra
oh,
onion
shit.
ring dipping sauce.
It was funny. It was just funny to see that, like, to see him make his goons sit at another table because they weren't clean enough.
Did you eat rabbit?
Yes, I had rarebit.
We were talking about rabbits earlier. Nick, I know once you taste rabbit, it's hard to forget.
It's because of Easter. That's why we started talking about eating rabbits.
We were talking. He asked me if I'd ever ate rabbit, and I was like, oh yeah. And I have a lot of pictures that my brother ended up putting in storage, and then he never paid the storage. So I don't know where all these pictures are, but I have pictures of myself with my father and my godfather Scott, and we're skinning rabbits, we're skinning squirrels.
And skinning rabbits is so
there is a smell. You never forget the smell, and you never forget the
meat
taste.
smells different before you cook it,
and it tastes different. It tastes different, but not necessarily in a bad way. I would say not necessarily in a bad way. It
tastes more like chicken liver almost. I guess is a good way to put it.
My daughter did that.
That is cute.
I couldn't find any paper to write my notes on, guys.
Or stringy turkey. That's what rabbit tastes like. Weird chicken.
Yeah.
Because it does not taste like pork. It's a lot like thigh meat on turkey. Is how I always envisioned it. We had it as rabbit a la king. So they would skin the rabbits.
Why did I do that?
And they would look like horror movie things, and they would soak them in a pot of salt water overnight.
Yes.
And then they would make rabbit a la king. So they would stew up all the rabbit, strain it, pick the bones out, put all the meat in the mix back in, and then basically make rabbit dumplings.
Yes.
Almost.
Yes. And that's what I remember. And squirrel dumplings. That's what I remember.
Or eat it over Texas toast, which is actually really fucking good.
Now that I don't see.
Shit on a shingle, but made with rabbits.
There's rare things about my father and I had a very tumultuous relationship. Is that the right word? I don't fucking know. Like, he was a prick. Mm-hmm. But there were some things that he was wonderful at, and making fucking deer steak was one of them. I don't know what he did.
It's an art form.
Yeah, you have to do it a certain way.
Is hard. My uncle did it too. He soaked it in teriyaki sauce.
My dad never would tell me what he'd do, but whenever he would, like, it's one of the few things that he'd be like, "Hey, kitten." He never called me that. I call my kids that. Hey, my dad, he called me puppy when I was a little girl. I was his puppy.
I was asshole, I think, most of the time.
So not much has changed.
Right.
Let's move on. So I want to talk about something that happened locally here, and then I want to share something that put my heart in my asshole. Damn kids.
Heart. Oh, yeah.
So first we'll start. I like to share during our podcast, and sorry for last week. Last week was so fucking busy for me. That's why we didn't have it last week.
Yeah,
so,
it was actually, we'll just blame it on Regina. It was
damn it, Regina.
It was all Regina's fault.
She's in mourning, and we're still going to blame her. Because that's how petty we are.
She would want that, though.
She would. That's what Peanut would want. Peanut would want us to blame Regina.
To still make fun of her.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, I remember I said I didn't like that song Dancing in the Sky. Well, I made up a song about Peanut for Regina after she had him put down. And it said, I hope you're barking at a guy. I hope you bite him in the thigh. I hope you piss in my brother's eye. I hope you bite off somebody's dingerling tonight. Rest in peace, Penis.
Ooh, Alright, I was pretending I was playing the flute. And
honey, you gotta remember, that thing bites back. It's not like the skin flute.
Right, so like, okay, so this is the regular, this is called a slim, okay? Well, this one monster fucking hits. If you want to choke like you're sucking dick, this is the one. Yeah, right?
I kind of forget how it goes.
So, Boma, on the other hand, is a ceramic coil, and it gives you cleaner, lighter hits. You can, on a blinker on a Boma, you ain't gonna cough, even if it's your first one. You get a blinker on this, look, and it comes out as smoke, see? Right? This thing hits like a dab. I fucking love it.
That is a good, how much does it run?
22 plus tax.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. And there will probably be a sale on them this week. This particular one is frozen banana.
That's not bad. Pretty
they
good.
have Skunky Jack for the sativers. And
that's good to know because the person likes
and
sativa.
Hiker's Blend, which is everybody's new favorite one. They avoided it forever.
I know that's one of Fartsy Alerts' favorite is the Hiker's Blend.
It's
All
great.
right.
That's clean your house bud. In case you guys didn't know.
Hiker's Blend, yes.
It works just like a Monster Energy, and it's weed.
So, I like to share things that happen on local Facebook pages. This week it is the city I currently live in. Last time it was the city that I was born into. So this week in my city, wrong way.
I love how we're sitting in this vapor cloud like
This week in my city, I read a post that tore my fucking heart out.
Literally, I had to put it back in. She's lucky I know how to do open heart surgery.
I'd show you the scars, but it's a HIPAA violation.
Fiona would be very
Wait
upset.
a minute, I hit the wrong side.
Oh, that's hot.
Listen.
Don't hit the battery charger port. Your tongue touches that.
Okay, so this lady posted that she was on her way somewhere, and it was around the time that this kindergarten, now the kindergarten, we have 110 kindergartens around here, or kindergartens, elementary schools around here.
Mm-hmm. Like every plat has one.
Right, and it'll go grades K to 5, and then they all go to the middle school. So this one certain school up the way, this lady was driving, and she notices these two children bullying another young man, almost pushing him in, like, oh gosh, I wish I would have had this ready, but I'll look for it. But anyway, trying to push him into traffic, trying to punch him, like.
Even if he had said something mean, you can't kill kids. You can't bully bullies.
Right.
You just have to shun them.
So, she sees this, one school, I'm reading the shit too. She sees the one boy punch him dead in the face. So she goes and turns around as soon as she can. I'm trying to find the post and give you the Cliff's Notes. I'll read you the actual post if I find it. So she turns around, she goes back to the child. You guys ready for this? She looks at the child who is literally like holding his face bleeding and says, "Honey, can I take you to your mom?" He says, "I don't have a mom anymore."
Aww.
Now, I don't know what that means, but he doesn't have a mom anymore. But the lady did end up speaking with the father, and the father has been telling the school this for the entire school year about these damn children fucking with his kid, and they're not listening. So
I bet you it's because they're the children of someone that knows the deceased mother. And they feel, because a similar thing happens.
everything has a plot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In Nickville, everything has a plot. Look, that dog looks just like my dead boxer, Durliler. I don't see it now because it was like on Friday. It had to have been on Friday. But yeah, it broke my whole fucking heart.
And schools don't do anything about shit like that.
They don't. They really don't.
I mean, they didn't when we were younger. They didn't when my bestie's niece was younger. She was bullied by the richest girl in town and waited till the
Wonder if she
last
took it
day
down
of
for a
school
reason.
and beat her up in the parking lot.
I bet she took it down because they're filing charges or something against the parents.
Oh, that could be.
That could be why that
'cause
post
you
is
gotta,
gone.
Yeah, you have to take down social media
Oh, yeah.
stuff. If
Okay.
you're going through stuff like that.
So, last week, on, oh God, what day was it? Thursday, I believe it was. My son and daughter-in-law said, "Can we take advantage of the nice weather? Would you watch your grandson just for a tidbit while we take the motorcycle out?" And I said, "Why, sure.
Right?
Why not? I'm the best grandma ever. I'm a great mother." Although my son said I was not a great mom when I was mothering him actively while he was in the house, but I'm a cool homeboy. So I guess I'll take it. But anyway,
Like, I hated you when I lived at home,
but
but you're the
cool
best grandma
now.
ever.
Yes. Yes.
That's what that means.
The
But that's
whole
cool.
grandparent thing kind of redeems the parenting
It
just a
does.
smidge.
Well,
Just a smidge.
It's wisdom.
It is.
That's
It really
why the
is.
baby kid, the one that was born when all the other ones were teenagers, usually has the best of the parents.
Yeah, and you know, my oldest child we don't speak. We haven't spoken in almost 2 years, me and my oldest son, because it is my opinion, my feeling that he resents me because I have different relationships with my children. Like, I don't have the same relationship with Cameron as I do Kyle, or Kyle as I do Jordan. Like, they're all different. And when they were younger, I think they took you should love your kids all the same. Well, the amount of love I have for you is the same, but the way I love you is different, because I can't love you the way I love him because he doesn't respond. That's not his love language. You know what I mean? And just like when it came to punishing my children,
You eventually learn the
This-
physical
right, this
aspect doesn't work by the
punishment-
time you have the
right.
baby.
if I punish you this way, this doesn't work for you. But if I punish you this way, it works for you. Now, punishing him that way doesn't work for, like, it's all different. So that kind of gives kids a complex, I think.
Because some kids learn from spankings. Me, I did not. It
Nah,
ended up being a
there was-
resentment that lasted into my adulthood. I cannot imagine.
All of my kids have gotten their butt whooped one time, at least one time. But now my oldest son, my oldest, that boy tested. That's why I got arthritis.
That's a
I
couple,
was
couple
whooping
of my
his ass
cousins.
all
My
the fucking
cousins
time.
were way more rotten than me, and I was pretty fucking rotten.
Bryant
but I
was
was
rotten.
like ornery rotten,
Yeah, well, Bryant,
scheming rotten.
sneaky and sneaky.
Yes, I was
that's,
the sneaky kid that could
that's
literally
how Bryant was.
crawl in and touch your fucking back of your leg and scare the shit out of you, and you wouldn't even hear me crawl in.
Mm-hmm. Bryant was like that to an extent, but Kyle was like that too. Kyle and Bryant were my two of the older ones. Now my daughter. Anyway, so they went on a motorcycle ride, and my phone rings, and all I hear is my daughter-in-law crying.
Oh, that's not
And
good, but
says
yeah,
we got
that's-
into a motorcycle accident.
Oh, you never want to hear those words because they so often are not ever good.
And all I could make out was my son's name and broken leg.
Okay, that's a lot better than some.
But she was
yes.
still saying a whole bunch of shit that I couldn't understand, and I'm like, So I get Carrie over here with the kids. Me and Cameron take off.
Mind you guys, all of you local listeners and watchers,
Yes, it was on 40.
you'll
Or-
know exactly where it
40?
was. Yeah, on
That's
40.
40. In the Vandalia,
The Vandalia Dam, not the Eagle
Vandalia
one.
Dam. Right on that bridge. So you know how far that drops down. So it could have gone so much worse.
And there's a construction site.
And there's right there.
They're
Yes.
building a bridge over top of the fucking train tracks.
Oh my God. So we get there, and as we're rolling up, I see my daughter-in-law, but I don't see my son any fucking where.
Oh, that would be scary.
And there's an ambulance there. I don't know if my son is even still at the scene or not. So I go to pull my car off to the side. Well, this other car, which ended up being my daughter-in-law's mom, I didn't realize it because she was in a different vehicle. She pulls in front of me, gets out of the car, and runs in front of me, and I almost fucking ran her over. Like, literally
Right,
was
'cause
this close to running. I'm like, God damn it, Jenny! Like, I was screaming at her, like, you dumb bitch!
Could
You'd be lucky
imagine?
there was a fucking ambulance
Could you-
there.
I
I'd be in
know.
the jail.
I know, but could you imagine if you would have accidentally hit her? She's going because, daughter was obviously in the same accident and just didn't break nothing, but she freaking out too. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
But
if
only
I
if she'd
actually
been
hit her.
completely okay. Like, just kind of
Yeah.
fell on the hood because you
Just-
stopped close to her.
Abruptly.
You didn't actually hit her,
Yeah.
she just fell on you.
Anyway, so I get out of the car,
That's so terrifying.
and as y'all know, my legs are ass. So I'm briskly walking walking. Cameron's already halfway to wherever my daughter-in-law is. And so's her mom, and I'm just kind of limping along like a damn mad Oompa Loompa. Uh-oh. The boys are home.
Uh-oh.
So the boys will walk through the scene.
Yes, you'll get to see them in a second.
In their, covered in
Looking
horse sweat and horse
all
shit.
farmy.
And so I get up there, and I see my daughter-in-law, and a bunch of people are talking, and people are looking at me like, who is this woman marching like Sophia on the fucking Color Purple? I'm like...
I'm Carmela Soprano, you fucker.
I said, where the fuck is my son? I don't remember saying that, but that's what I said. Many witnesses can apply.
It's kind of shocking when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, and they were like, and this EMT, this lady EMT comes behind.
Well, they worked hard. Look at them.
Yeah, we'll let them come through. Hi guys, we're recording.
Hey,
Nick said
fellas.
hi.
We were just talking about how you guys look like you worked really hard, so.
Cameron, remind me to tell you about this.
I will not forget.
Moo-hoo, ha ha ha. So anyway, she's coming up beside me. She's like, now ma'am, he's in the back of the ambulance, but what I need you to do, and you can't do that, and I don't even know what the fuck she's saying, and I turned to look at her, I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up, where's my son? She's like, in the back of the ambulance.
And thank God people like that know that that's gonna be the response, because when you're a first responder, you can't get offended when people are mad at you.
Right.
Know?
And I
That's
wasn't
so
really mad. Like,
well,
I'm not
mad.
listening to you, lady.
Right.
I'm
When
trying to
you're
find
in
my kid.
flight or fight mode, people
Right.
aren't listening.
And she was trying to tell me, like, you physically cannot get on that ambulance because there were, like, 4 people in there with Kyle at that time.
I was going to be like, why not? That thing can hold a cow.
Well, I kind of... So I'm walking up to it, and I'm yelling at her, like, shut the fuck up, I know what... So... And then I get up to the ambulance and I realize how high up that fucking step is and how shitty my knee is. And I'm like, maybe I should have been a little bit nicer to her because now I probably need her to take me up under the ass cheeks and give me a boost. But then I looked up and all of a sudden I seen
2 big Sasquatch feet sticking up out of there.
I seen some beautiful blue eyes and a hand reach for me and says, here ma'am, I will help you. And I said, yes you will, daddy. And it pulled me up in the ambulance and I said,
because in case you haven't been to Vandalia, they hot. Motherfucking EMTs and firemen and cops, they're hot in Vandalia.
Even that woman, I stuck my tongue in her throat.
Oh, there's 4 super hot female officers. 2 of them, I'm pretty sure, are part of my clan, but other than that, anyway, they're awesome.
I'm trying to think if I saw a female officer. I think I just saw a female EMT. But anyway, so they're shooting Kyle up with fentanyl when I'm in there. Not the bad kind.
Like the kind that's clean.
The clean kind.
That's still scary. I'd be like, can I just have ibuprofen?
Well, and okay, so if somebody says to you, because my son was supposed to be babying his left leg, because as you remember, when there was ice on the ground, he fell and busted it. He's on fucking short-term disability right now because of it. And he's not supposed to be riding that motorcycle. He's supposed to be babying his leg.
Oh no, I hope that doesn't fuck up his disability.
I don't know. So I started yelling at him once I knew he was okay, like a mom does. And I was like, you're supposed to be babying that left leg. And the other EMT goes, oh, that's okay, ma'am. It's the right one he messed up. And I'm like, but that's not okay.
I know.
Because now they're both fucked up.
That's so funny that the EMT was just like, don't worry.
It's the right one. And I'm like, can you take a minute to think about what you just said?
Don't worry. Now he'll just need a wheelchair instead of a walker.
So he goes, what did he do to the left one? I was like, he fell on ice. I was like, he goes, well, with the right one, now listen, these are the words that the guy used. He's like, his leg got gnarled in between the motorcycle and the red truck. Because what had happened was, But his leg, what for me, gnarled meant like I was gonna look at my son's leg and it was damn near amputee
Like chunks,
status.
right?
Like
chunks
hamburger
of calf
meat. No,
missing.
no, I don't know why he chose to use the word gnarled, but it scared the shit out of me when he did. But I was very. But
Yeah,
then before he even got home, my daughter-in-law was like, I looked at his leg to make sure it was okay. I was like, oh my God, how bad was it? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the fucking EMT said his leg got gnarled. And she's like, no. So it's fine. It didn't break. He just had a really bad sprain. Like he's on crutches
Like it just
again.
got squashed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So what had happened was,
no breaking.
so this is what had happened was, okay? This is what had happened. So this lighter this is too small for y'all to see. So this is going to represent
The truck.
the truck. This is going to represent the this is going to represent the SUV. This is going to represent the truck. This is going to represent the white sedan. And this is going to represent the motorcycle. Okay. What had happened was they's all driving right along the bridge. This bastard decides he's going to slam on his brakes, right? So he slams on his brakes. This guy slams on his brakes. This bastard takes off to where the fuck we don't know. He left the scene. So this guy stops. The truck doesn't have enough time, so he rear ends him, but not enough to cause any fucking damage. Kyle goes off like this, comes up on the side, takes his bike to the side like this, to the side like this and comes up like this and was able to not drop the bike. But it screwed up. They'll find out today if they're going to total it out. They kind of want them to.
Well, that's going to happen a lot now with the tariff war.
Yeah, so
vehicles are just going to be totaled.
He's a mess.
I would be super. Yeah, that's gonna.
And then I had to apologize to my daughter-in-law because the bike we're pretty sure the frame is fucked. I asked the cop if it was able to be drove, and he said he moved it himself off the side of the road. He's like, you are not, nobody's gonna be able to drive it. He's like, I couldn't barely get it over here. The steering is all jacked up. So we should find out today what they're gonna do with it. But everybody is okay. And as I'm walking back to the car, I'm getting mad because as a parent, things like that scare you, but for me, my kids are also adults. So I try to let them do whatever they choose to do as adults, but I'll still say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, but they're going to do what they're going to do, you know?
My dad did not, we were not allowed to even ride on people's dirt bikes, and all my cousins were into dirt bikes, but it's because when my dad was young, he had a friend die in a motorcycle accident. So he has never, ever, ever been okay with it, and he made sure me and my sister weren't. And neither of us like motorcycles. Yeah. Now, I did see the fun in dirt bikes. Not gonna lie, that's some fun-ass shit, just being crazy out on a farm. But I did have a friend when I was in senior year of high school. His younger brother died. They were on four-wheelers.
Yeah.
He went over a hill, came down on top of him, and it broke his neck.
Oh, my goodness. I had a friend pass away. She was just married. She was like 21, 22 years old, and there was like a big snowstorm. And a bunch of their friends got on their snowmobiles and went into town to the local bar to have a few drinks.
God, that sounds like fun.
And then they was going back home, and right there, do you know where it used to be Booth Chevrolet. And then right across from Booth was the Dairy Queen.
Are we talking about
Arlington Road?
Oh yeah, just down from Lee's and Rob's and Mindy's and all that.
Right there is where she passed away. They because it was still snowing and it was dark then, and even with the lights on, the site was. She was on the back of this
die on the same road.
Yeah, she was on the back of the snow skis or whatever the fuck it is, and her husband was driving it, and they hit a pole, and she probably weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. She's a tiny little thing.
It's not even a bad road at all, but people just, I don't know, even in regular weather, like someone passed away, class of '98 from Phillipsburg. and he was on his motorcycle, same road, went off the road.
Sad. Watch for motorcycles, and motorcycles watch for other people because they ain't watching for you.
That's very true. Now,
So-
even though I would totally leave my grass in the middle of the street because I don't care, I don't because of motorcycles. It's literally the only reason I blow it off of the street.
Right. You consider other people. That's wonderful.
Now, if you see me doing it, though, I do it a funny way. I blow everything out into the street, blow it down a little bit out of the front of my driveway, and then blow it back onto the strip in between the sidewalk and the street.
Yeah.
Like, as fertilizer.
Yeah, to help it.
So if you catch me halfway, it looks like I'm being a dick. But when you drive back around 5 minutes later, I got it all off the street, and it's up on my yard.
Dickless.
Yeah, all in my yard.
So, allegedly, Casey Anthony has started a daycare in Branson, Missouri called Bright Futures.
That cannot even be legal.
Well, I found out it's a myth.
Okay.
Thank God. Because everybody was posting about it. That's what I was telling you about earlier. Like, thank God I found out this was a myth. Like, I didn't tell him I'm good on that. I didn't tell him what I was talking about. But I was like, something serious that turned out to be a myth. Thank God. So.
Yeah, because what happened first? Why did she come? Oh, because she's on the interwebs now.
Yeah, she
on
was
the
on
socials.
TikTok. Yeah, she was on the TikTok, and everybody wants her off the TikTok. Y'all, yesterday was a huge day for space traveling.
Yes. No.
Gayle King and Katy Perry went to space yesterday. Successfully. I didn't see that coming. We was worried.
I have mixed feelings on it because the science nerd in me is like, oh my god, this is so cool. Gail totally looked like she thought she was going to die the whole time.
Did.
Like, she couldn't even breathe as she's
I
walking
would've
up.
too.
After she rang the bell, I could see the terror in her eyes. Katy Perry looked really great in her space outfit. She looked kind of like 7 of 9 from Star Trek Voyager. Wait a minute, did I say that? Is that the right series?
Yeah, I don't know.
Star Trek Voyager. And, but then the other half of me was like, man, for the price of that one flight, every homeless person in Southwest Ohio could have been fed. Every single one for like a year.
You know, I see people's point of view with that, and the thing
But
is,
I still like it. We got to go to space eventually.
yeah, it was.
We keep
I thought
getting
it was
stuck
really
here,
cool, and these fucking millennials.
I liked it too,
fake.
though.
It
Don't
was
get me
fake.
wrong.
It was a simulation. It didn't
Right,
happen.
because the world is flat. I can't even handle that shit, guys. Don't talk about flat Earth around me.
And then they're making fun of Katy Perry because the video she posted because she was holding a little Daisy, and then her daughter's name is fucking Daisy. She was making the video for her kid, not you, dumbass.
Right, you guys.
Like, people kill me. Like, oh, and then she held up a star that had like all the songs on her set list and her. So fucking what?
Yeah,
this is her. She paid to go. That's just like me going on an airplane, paying to go somewhere else and getting my little flight shit. What the hell does that hurt you? Like, I understand, and I agree with Nick totally. The money that they put into going on that flight could have helped so many people, but that's not to say money from their pockets hasn't gone to people before, and this is their
very, very
choice.
true.
This is on their bucket list. Everybody has a bucket list. It's just some people have more money to fuck the bucket.
That's very true. That's very true. Because I'm not going to hate on them or Jeff Bezos, but like, because there's money to do both, is what and them still be billionaires.
Right, exactly.
They can still
There's plenty
have
of money to go around.
Their 1980 space race, and also still feed poor people.
Right, exactly.
Poor people are only poor because the obstacles to education and well-paying jobs. Yeah, there's a job out there for everybody, but in this, you can make a career off of being a supervisor at Buc-ee's. But not everybody wants to be a supervisor at Buc-ee's, even though
it's all about choice.
If you don't smoke weed, That's one of the best jobs you can have in North America is working at Buc-ee's.
Is it?
They pay well and they have excellent benefits. That little meme that went around was real. I actually researched that about how much they pay. Their GMs make 6 fucking figures.
That's wonderful.
The person that runs the whole facility, and they have like 4 other managers right under them that work like how you're in a restaurant where you got your bar manager, front of the house manager, kitchen manager.
Right.
Same thing there.
Well, if you had a lot of money, what would be something completely frivolous that you would buy?
Frivolous.
Something like people would be like,
not normal. Like,
right, people would be like, why would you buy that?
Well, there's a couple things I might have. I would definitely want one of those food fountains, but it needs to be big enough for sausage and biscuits and gravy. So the cheese fountain or the chocolate fountain needs to be a little wider so that I can have a sausage gravy fountain. That's about the only really frivolous thing I can think of. Because all the other things are normal. Yeah, I would have a movie theater that looked like a regular movie theater with a fucking candy spot and Coke on tap. Yeah, I would have badass RVs. I would probably have like a Goonies pirate ship pool.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Like, so a thing where we could actually have small events in the pirate ship and swing off into the pool and play in the pool, and it would have an
that'd be
octopus
awesome.
that came sometimes. Yeah, that would be my frivolous thing, a Goonies pool / pirate event center.
I think my frivolous thing would be I would build my husband his own house.
Shut up.
But
No, listen.
it's actually not a bad idea for some people.
Look,
No, it's fucked up because honestly, I would agree with her.
it's not for what you like. I am the word that people like to use is prickly when it comes to me. I'm very prickly. I need my space. My ADHD doesn't like to be touched. Like, if I approach you, that's one thing. But, just like, oh my gosh. So my daughter-in-law's mom and I don't get along. I just cannot stand her. She's a fucking twat. So
I love that word.
I
twat.
just don't talk to her. Because she thinks being a parent and a grandparent is a competition. And, bitch, I ain't got time for your fucking bullshit.
And I'll just tell you right now, Kathy wins.
Every time.
She wins. 100%.
Every fucking time. So, when she showed up at the same time we did, she's walking towards me, and we're, like, thankful that our kids are okay, and she, comes in for a hug, so, I hugged her. And when she dropped my daughter-in-law back off, because her car was here, obviously, daughter-in-law come in and said, yeah, my mom said she was so surprised that you come up and hugged her, and I'm like, I did not! Like, what am I supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if somebody's like, oh.
You gotta hug them back or...
Like, she's already halfway in, bro.
Right.
She's already halfway in. I didn't go for it.
It's like...
don't fucking, don't do that to me, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm glad our kids are okay.
So, moving on.
Where's Jenny from?
Here.
The land of
This particular place we're sitting now?
Yeah.
This land? Okay.
Mhm.
So basically...
Right down the street.
Okay.
So, before we go, there's one more topic that I saw. And while people are like, oh my god, this is so homophobic, you're going to find it so fucking funny. I don't know if you've heard about it yet. Did you hear about the thing about Mickey Rourke and JoJo Siwa?
That sounds so gross because he's 80 and she's 5.
Okay, well, they are on Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, okay.
They are on Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, God, I can only imagine what that smells like.
Well, here's the issue. I guess, because I don't watch it, so I had to do a little gathering of some things before I could, come on here and talk about it. So, when Mojo Seaweed came into the Big Brother house, she was dressed like a dude.
Oh, so no one knew who she was?
No one knew who she was. Well, I don't want to say that, but she was
should
dressed
I
like a
say
dude.
Does she like to have they, them, or
I
anything
don't
like that?
fucking know.
Okay.
She's like a busted Rainbow Bright. Busted up rainbow. So, when she comes in, Mickey Rourke is completely oblivious. Like, he's done so many drugs, everybody looks like a man to him. He don't fucking care. So, he starts, you know, she comes in and dressed like that or whatever, and then as time goes on, you know, she reveals who she is or whatever. Well, he starts acting weird.
Because he wanted to fuck her.
He asks her, do you like girls or boys? And she says girls. He says, 4 days with me, you won't be a lesbian anymore. And she kind of got like the ick, which it's Mickey fucking Rourke. He is the ick. So, and then he says, once he realizes that she's a lesbian, he makes the comment, oh, we have to vote people off, right? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, I'm voting the lesbian out first. And then in the very next breath, he says, I need a fag. You ain't British, bitch.
Yeah, you literally can't call cigarettes fags unless you are from England.
Yeah,
or
you're
UK
not British.
in general.
But that would have been okay if he would have just left it at that and went and got a cigarette. But no, he looks over at Mojo Seaweed and says, I'm not talking to you. Now,
I would have took it the same way, like, oh. I'd have been like, I didn't think
I
you
would
were.
have knocked him. I would have punched that motherfucker so hard his face would have went back to the original version.
Yeah, because I've seen lesbians throw people through doors. Like.
You, man, I told my Uncle Lori, that mullet alone would have come up and beat your ass. Remove it.
He's so gross, too. Right before he
looks-
gets plastic surgery every time, he looks like
I want you to see this, though.
if you took bacon and put it on someone's face
So true.
and then set them in the sun for a couple hours. That's what he looks like. Oh, I'm curious as to this note, because that's one of my favorite people.
His face just bothers me.
Okay.
Comedians that aren't funny, that we don't find funny. Nick Swartzen.
I actually am a huge
And-
fan of him. I loved him on Reno 911 as the gay.
Oh, no, I did. Nah, he's got good, yeah.
The gay guy on the gay prostitute.
It's not that I don't like him or don't, his face just bothers me. But Bert Kirshner, everything about him bothers me.
I don't know who he
The
is.
machine one.
He's, ugh.
I don't like the one guy that everybody likes. Shane Gillis.
You get that cheese, Daniel.
Alright. Oh, did he get kicked out?
Oh, he looks as creepy as I was thinking.
Come on, let's go on a journey.
So you like girls or boys?
Me? Girls.
I can tell.
I could tell, he said.
My partner is non-binary. That's the vape smoke room.
Stella, it's about time. Stella starts barking.
Just
Let's
think
go
in
on.
4 days we'll never see each other again. 4 whole days?
Nah, man.
I'm trying to last 4 days. If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I'll stay in a very happy relationship.
I'll tie you up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about that part.
Won't happen. I dare you to try. You'll be the one tied up.
I'm just talking smack, you know. Boy, did I get chewed out. Did you? Yeah. You got in trouble? Oh, yeah, big time.
I understand that you might have thought it would be uninsulting, but it's the way it's perceived on other people. So Jojo was very upset earlier, bless her, but she's still upset.
I'm just talking.
About him
This is
saying,
way too fucking
That is so crazy that he thinks he can act like that.
yeah, here's where he said,
I mean, I'm sure that's part of the show, though.
All vote each other out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote the lesbian out real quick.
That's homophobic. That's homophobic. Is that what you're reasoning?
This is
The
disgusting.
lesbian I'm gonna vote
No,
out.
you can't do that, Nicky.
You also can't say that.
Which Jojo? What, Jojo?
Yeah.
Jojo.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Is she?
Nothing girl, yeah.
he said, is she?
I need him. I'm talking to you.
Not talking to you.
Nicky, you can't say that.
Mickey, you can't say that.
Mickey, you can't say that.
You can't say that, Mickey. You can't say that.
And in
You
America,
can't
we
even go over
say-
there and say that. If you're American, you can't go over there because that would just be like you saying it here, but saying it over there is just like saying it over here, but you're
Right.
saying it over there.
Because every British person looked at you like, first, you're not British. Second,
Cameron.
we say that, and only probably like old boomers say that over there. Like
Right.
British boomers. I guarantee you, young people.
You ready to turn it off for us, please?
I've heard Siggy.
Yeah,
Used-
Siggy. That's the new one.
I've
Siggy.
heard that one used more than the F word.
Right. So.
Okay.
Next time you want to puff on something, don't make. Well, in your case, maybe.
Right.
Hey, we'll see you next week. It has been the Punk Unicorn Podcast with Nikki B
And Mama K. We love you guys. Bye, bitches.